And I think we got it right this time. How are we, people? Camera adjustment. You'd think I'd get it right. Glasses off. Little plug for the sheep studs. We'll talk about that a bit later. How is everyone this week? And welcome to another Sunday session with Muzz, Stu, and whoever else turns up. And this is today's thing, talking about. I know it's a bit of a rough title, but we're talking about transfer of information. For example, going to Newdigate Field Day last Wednesday, you might have seen the Wednesday Wisdom and the live that I did there. So that was all part of the thing, and there's lessons to be learned from that. And I want to dive into it when Muzz gets on. So we'll just see how he goes. There's also some other scenarios that I'll throw into the conversation when Muzz is here about putting my money where my mouth is, as far as things that I've done in the last week, about things that I've said, and it's about sharing more information with, in particular, the university student that's staying with us at the moment, and she's here to learn in field farming, and it's about how to transfer that information to them that in a practical sense. So and as it is fun and games at the moment, is uni students been friendly hanging out with the young fella. So that is the way it is. So I can see people on, and give it a thumbs up when you're here. Give it a video or a like and stuff like that. And we'll wait to see how the internet is treating a couple of people today. Maybe not. All right, well, I'll just start. I did, that could be a little while to get on. So a couple of things that happened this week. So particularly to this university student that's come out for a visit. We'll talk about that for a second, about information transference. So this person is here. I invited this person out for this week because there's a few things going on. One being Newdigate Field Day. Then I went to a ram sale to buy a new stud ram. I hope that works. That'll get Muzzy on. So yeah, lots of things. Muzz is here today.
G'day all.
How are you, Chief?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Sorry I'm running a bit late. I was there, and then Facebook decided I didn't want to be there, so I told it to reset, and we'll start again.
That's how it is. The technological influence.
Oh, look, we're all over it here.
Yeah. So I was discussing with the crowd just as you were jumping on about, so currently have a university student staying here for a week. And
how's she going?
She's fine, absolutely perfect. She's here to learn and not so much do heaps of work. So the idea is to learn the practical sense of farming as the what's whys. And the reason why I invited her out this week is it's not only Newdigate Field Day. The day after Newdigate Field Day, or the second day Newdigate Field Day, I went to a ram sale to buy a stud ram. So the influence of the thought processes with that, and then going to see another breeder's sheep was a good experience for her. Then the day after that, we had our ram sale. So then more crossy sheep and more thought processes. So there's a different mindset between going to a ram sale and then holding one. And then what we do yesterday. We marked the Cheviot lamb yesterday, so now she's seen lamb marking. And we've also done a little bit of spraying this morning, so you get to experience all these different areas of farming. And tomorrow we drive to Merredin to go to a merino ram sale where we're going to buy some merino rams. So there's all these different processes. It's a busy week for me, and I thought this would be the perfect learning opportunity for a uni student to go, let's look at the time invested, money spent, thought processes, even in the moment of being at the auction.
Yeah.
So I have different tactics for when I go and buy stud rams versus when I go and buy commercial rams, because the bidding tactics and the excitement of the auction and stuff like that. Not everyone gets to experience this sort of stuff, and farmers, that's a classic at a clearing sale, to get overexcited on some junk because he wants to have a bid. You too. Yeah. So that's sometimes we have these junk piles around the farm because of stuff we just bought at a clearing sale, just because. So I'm getting a junk pile because they're just about finished putting up the mobile tower up here, and there's all these extra bits of steel and Rio and stuff that's left over. So I've gone, that's mine. Leave that behind.
Absolutely.
That's mine. The amount of times you could use a bit of, I think it's about 20 mil Rio.
Wow.
You could. It's pretty thick. It's like that, and you could use that to brace something up or bend it. Create another structurally bit and whatever. So there's always lovely bits. For the uni student to see all those different processes and stuff that I go through in that week. So we walked around the field day together and talked about machinery and technology and stuff like that. You can learn by looking and sort of understanding, and then coming out here and actually seeing and experiencing. So the spraying this morning, I'm sure, was very informative for her. She saw how I handled my chemical, how easy and difficult it was to drive the machine and spray it out and watch the droplets come out and understand about the target acquisition as to why I do it that way. Now, each farmer can do it slightly different, but we're all doing the same thing. So to sit there and talk about the whats and whys that I do it that way creates an understanding, because she might read a book and she'll go, all right, spray nozzle, spray weed, chemical, in water, perfect world scenario, that's how it is. But now she's got that experience in the back of her mind. She goes, but I know what that looks like out the paddock. Bit of crossbreeds. It's got you got crossbreeds and things aren't perfect. So how do we try and create a scenario that isn't perfect to get the best result we can get?
Stu, just you probably already mentioned it, but me being late and all, but so this student you've got, has she had any farm experience, ag experience, and what's she studying? Is she studying like ag science, ag business?
Both.
Yeah,
ag science and agribusiness. And she does come from a country town in WA, small country town. She's not adverse to work or anything. She's not a full city slicker. So she doesn't mind getting her hands dirty. She was first time we've used radio tags in the Chevyettes. So she was putting the tags on the sheep yesterday. No problems doing the work. And she understands farmers do things, so it's not a completely foreign scenario. But she wanted, so this is part of the Farmer Friend program with WALRAC, WA Livestock Research Commission, or whatever it is. Right? Something I subscribed to a year ago after going to a field day at a mate's place, talking about feeding your sheep saltbush and drought tolerance and things like that. And they talked about non-mulesing and stuff that I didn't always listen to because I'm a mulesing fuck, right? I have my opinions and they have theirs. But
it sounds like you and I are in the same boat there, Stuart. I'm not a sheep man, but
Everyone has their opinion and they're allowed to it.
That's
opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one, but not everyone needs to see it or hear it. So,
especially hearing it.
Yeah. But the bonus is for this person to learn the practical stuff and then take that back to school. So when she takes it back to school, she's got a better knowledge of what the book's trying to tell her. And then she might be able to share that with her students. So that's why the Farmer Friend program is great, is because that the students get assigned to a farmer, they come out, yeah, that's a great idea, I should do that. You know, the transfer of information between students when they all go back to class, and this one guy went to a cattle station at Mount Magnet, so he's got different experiences up there. You know, so he might not have got the variation of tasks that this student's got, but then they share their stories and how that compares to what are they learning as far as agribusiness.
Absolutely.
How can you tell a different farmer how to run a business if you don't understand the dynamic of what they're trying to do behind? So I've been quite open with this student. I've got the old book out and I've gone, this is what we spent on chemicals. You know, this is the money we're throwing at it. You know, when we say we don't want to spend money and you have to spend some money, where do you stop? Yeah, at what point do you call it and go, no, because I'm spraying some weeds a bit late now. So we went and had a look. I said, right, there's some barley with some head emergence, so I can't spray that chemical on it now because I'll do too much crop damage. So then you have to change tactics. So, you know, to make those judgment calls, it's interesting for me to share that to this person, because this is, you know, I'm essentially teaching a staff member that's never going to be a staff member. You know, they might be, right? So, you know, you never know. They got to do their uni course, but it's guiding this young mind to go, this is the understanding. So if she finishes her course and then she gets a job with the bigger companies, Nutrien or Elders, she'll know through doing this program when she's finished her degree that this is what farmers deal with. So her recommendations will be reflected in her practical knowledge.
I just you know what you're saying, because you know I've talked about before about mind, like how our minds work and things, and because I just want to put this into terms, say what you're saying out loud in terms that I can understand. You know, because as you're saying, like, she's got the book smarts, she's learning how to do things in a perfect world, and look, this example I'm going to use aerial pilots, aerial musterers for an example, and no offense to you fellas for what, you know, there are blokes who get up in the air and, you know, aerial mustering, but they've never been on the ground. They've never seen what it's like to move a mob of animals on the ground, dealing with the ground obstacles of rocks, trees, creeks, rivers, whatever is thrown at you. And some blokes skip that, go straight into a chopper or an aeroplane or whatever sort of aircraft you may be using. And look, you know, like any industry, there's good ones and bad ones. And I'm not having a go at anyone here, but it's just the blokes who have been on the ground first and had the hands on before actually getting in the air and then having to show these fellas on the ground what to do from the air, I believe have the advantage. And so, like the student you've got now, yes, she's got reiterate, she's done the book smarts, but now she's got the advantage to come to you, and she, as you said, it sounds like she's had a wicked week between going to the Newdigate Field Day, sheep sales, ram sales, and spraying, looking at your books, which I commend you for letting her have a look through your books, because, you know, again, in a perfect year, well, you should be spending this money by this time, by the budget, but problems arise. So you need to be prepared how to handle that.
Yeah, and that's right, and that's with what we do on the other side of this group. So with the learning platform that we subscribe to, so the ability to learn about how to do Facebook ads, build a Facebook group. There's a certain amount of knowledge you get from doing those lessons and then having a go. And then, you know, this Facebook group is my third group that I've created because I've made mistakes in the first two, right? So, you know, it's not that I've made mistakes, you do learning curves. And after the inspiration of this group, I thought, why not something that was created last week was I created a DBM, little plug for the sheep studs, a sheep stud page. And I understand how many times to post on that page, what to post on that page, so that I can then do a Facebook ad to advertise that page. So it's
And
sort
guys, just to Buddy, I'm gonna do a bit of advertising for you here, Stu, because I think personally, if anyone's got any interest in what Stuart's selling in the ram world, or stud sheep world, because he's got some ripper buddy animals there, send him a message, or if Stuart feels comfortable, he might be even drop a link in this video for us to follow, because awesome stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. So but this is there's a confidence in doing that. If you had said to me when Dad started the stud 2015, 2016, right? If you'd have said to me 2017, hey Stewie, can you make a Facebook page for the stud and do this? And I would have gone, yeah, I probably can. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. Yeah, I think I can. Like maybe, yeah. But all this other learning I've done from being the online entrepreneur for the last couple of years to understand the finer details, not only to get the ad to the targeted people, to then season your page correctly so that you don't look like a robot. Because I keep the who's on get these notifications who's on.
Oh, have we got how many people got on board?
Oh look, here we go. The stars banner is in the way. Someone said booyah a second ago.
Don't know who that was.
Oh, you turned your camera around, Muzz. The paddock
Yeah,
looks great.
I was trying to see that. That's my view today. Right. Oh shit, I'm back.
You can't see the comments?
No, I don't know. I've tried this before because I was fascinated to see who's coming on, because I could hear you saying who's coming on, but for some reason I can't. But that's okay. I think it's because you're the host.
Yeah, right. So Adrian, it says Adrian Criddle is watching. G'day, Adrian.
Hey, Angry, how are you, mate? Drop a comment, and buddy, if you want, you can join in and have a yak with us.
Yeah, send your invite. We'll get in a bigger chat. But it's all where are we? Uni students and transferring information and stuff like that. Someone said, love your beer. I did see that comment. Great idea, Muzz. I might have a lunchtime one. That's something that's been tested with Newdigate Field Day and ram sales and traditions of post Field Day ram sale antics. So my liver has been tested.
Oh, don't say it's not so.
Well, but living a fairly detox lifestyle these days, and even footy season finishing, there's a certain body relief from not so much training and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I've got a footy trip at the end of the month. So what we might get in a couple of weeks, Muzz, is a Sunday session from a pub in Darwin while we're on footy trip with the boys.
Oh, awesome. That sounds like fun.
That could be dangerous antics, that one.
Absolutely.
But that's the fun and games. But yeah, the transferring of information that we learn through all our influences. So one of the greatest businesses I consider being part of is starting this online business and partnering with the water machines that we do. By the way, I just changed the K8 filter this morning, and I'm going to do the Anespa one this afternoon because it's that time of year for me. That's part of the automation. Yeah, it tells me I need to change my filter. So you go, right, got to have the spare filter, get it done. And because the K8 tells me it needs to change the filter. Who's good? Adrian says, how are we? We are awesome, Adrian. Yeah, because the machine's automated enough to tell me when I use enough water, if the hot water's on, what the water pH is coming out, when to rinse it, all that sort of magic stuff. It tells me when to change the filter. I go, right, change the filter, done. Really easy to own one. and get the
Absolutely.
best drinking water.
Just to, because my machine's actually playing up a bit at the moment. It's, long story, but I'm actually going to try and send it away for a deep clean.
Yep.
So I got in contact with a Magic, and so it seems to be pretty simple so far. The only thing that concerns me is wrapping it up, ready to send over. But
I kept my box
overall,
just in case.
yeah, well, of course, I got sick of it. I thought, no, I don't need the box. I'll throw it out for once.
Yeah.
I'm letting it now, but I kept little foam supports for it.
Yeah.
And I've got the little travel case. You might have seen me put it in some of the other groups there. Nice little aluminium flight box.
Oh.
And so
Nice.
with that and that, it'll if I can pack it up, I just need to make sure that I'm going to get it back, because I mean that was $200 worth of aluminium there that they off eBay.
Yeah. No, so I haven't sent mine away yet, but I know plenty of people over here have sent theirs away, and yeah, it comes back as you send it, and they clean it and give you a report and all that sort of stuff. It's yeah. So what's your machine doing that's making you funny, mate? Is it saying rinse too much, or?
Because I've left it at the farm here and I haven't been here to clean it. Do the e-cleans, our fortnightly e-cleans. It's
That often?
Hey?
That often? About once a month, mate.
No. From memory, because I thought it was every 2 weeks, so I just do that every 2 weeks, and
Yep.
just to make sure. But because of that, I'm concerned that the plates are bloody gunked up. So because it doesn't taste like it should do, and I'm not getting that spark I normally get from it.
Here's a hack, mate. So I'm hearing what you're saying, because mine, until I changed this filter, I probably hadn't been running my beauty water every day. So you have to reverse the plates. So you run the beauty water, stuff like that. And I also make sure that probably about once a month, I'm doing a 11.5, 2.5 run. So I fill up a heap of bottles. I've got a couple of litre bottles that I stick under the kitchen bench. Do a bit of 2.5 every so often. And then that's because that's activating the plates. I'm sure it's cleaner than you think. But if you just...
And it should do.
Yeah, you work it the other way and then you flush it. It self-cleans, and then do a bit of 9.5. And mate, the bubbles I've got in my water from this morning, I thought, wow, I've missed that. Because it was yesterday it was coming through and there wasn't too many bubbles, and I'm trying to show the uni student, I'm going, look, electrolyzed water, and this is the released hydrogen. I look at the bottle, I'm going, it looks flat. There's no bubbles in it. And I thought, So I e-cleaned it last night before I changed my filter this morning, and I honestly probably haven't e-cleaned it in 2 months. So that's my bad.
Yeah.
So,
because cause the beauty is your water's filtered as well. The machine, isn't it?
Yeah, just a general household one.
Oh shit! Sorry, mate. I need a refill. Did you give yourself a drink? What?
I could. I'll get a different flavour. You talk, I'll be back.
I'd offer you one, but it might be a bit hard to fit through the microphone. That's all. No, look, I mean, it's some of you guys are probably thinking, well, what the hell are we talking about? I mean, you know that we use these fancy machines, but look, the bottom line of these things, I find they make a big difference in my life. Everything's works better mentally, physically, and depending on your water, like I don't like rainwater. Sorry to all those people who do like rainwater, but I find here that it's a big help. And Stuart and I have talked about this in the past, where
that out, Muzz.
Hey, he's really good at advertising today. And this isn't just the farm fence anymore. This is just Stewie's fucking advertising platform. But the one of the things we've talked about before, especially like Stuart's, well, we both do, but Stuart actually uses his Nespa. for or everyone who's down south, like, you know, around cropping areas and stuff, you know, we all spray for weeds and things, and well, we don't personally ourselves too much, but spray drifts, and so it does work its way eventually into your rainwater tanks, and that's where I believe the water's been beneficial here, having the machine, even without magic pre-filter, but that's what I need to look at next. So, look, take away all the other stuff that we're talking about, the fact that it's removing this stuff, all these chemicals and things out of the system, not going into your body or onto your body. Stuart can testify all the time how much better his skin is. I mean, look, this is not Maybelline here. We're not doing that here. But his skin's better, his beard and hair is better. Like, it's softer without having to use too much extra rubbish.
Yep.
Yeah, it's wicked. So anyway, I just doing a quick spiel there, Stu.
Well, yeah, I'll drop a
Good
link in the page for the DBM Sheep Studs page. I'll drop a link in the comments to the page, and anyone who's after some high quality crossbred rams can get on there.
Absolutely.
And then we can. That's all about information transfers. And so one of the other things I had in today's title was putting my money where my mouth is. So a really interesting story that I want to highlight for all the veterans that will be in this group. So at Newdigate, I met these guys that were doing Wounded Heroes is the thing, is what it's called. I'm allowed to plug them, they're not allowed to plug themselves. But that's what I joined their raffle. Well, I don't care about the raffle. It was about giving money to these guys so that they can help veterans. So when veterans make the call to these guys go, right, we can get you to your doctor. You have to go, Muzz?
No, just let these dogs off because I'll get a bit hot in my back, that's all.
Yeah.
So.
Probably nice and warm up there, mate. Yeah, so I subscribed to this Wounded Heroes thing. So I put in my $50 and what that does is that when a veteran is not feeling right, they can ring this number and these guys will help them get to the appointment, or they'll help them if they don't have a bit of food, they can help them with a bit of food, stuff like that. They're there just to help these guys. And I thought that is a worthy cause that I will put my money to. And unbeknownst to me, Dad did the same thing as well. Cool. And by no influence of me, we walk past these guys, we know it's a good thing. So that's us putting our money where our mouth is. And that made me feel real good inside. And I explained that to Jack. I said, look, these are serving guys coming here and offering this service, saying this is what we're doing to protect our people, to be there to help our people. Because as we can get deeper into how hard it is to be a man. I reckon we've discussed that before. But certainly to be a returned service person that has served for the country and the freedom, there's a mindset challenges that most of us will never have to deal with. So to support those people, I wanted to really put my money where my mouth is like that. So, cheers to those guys. I've got another story in a minute about putting money where my mouth is in a second.
Yeah, no, just with those blokes, I mean, the things that they've seen and done to bloody protect us, it's huge. And well, beg your pardon, not just blokes and ladies as well, obviously, but everyone who's served for us through the years. No, so good on you, mate. That's really cool. What was that called again? Wounded Souls?
Wounded Heroes.
Wounded Heroes.
Wounded Heroes. So I got the email confirmation. So yeah, I reckon everyone looked that up. Wounded Heroes, and between $25 and $200, you can support a veteran when they need it. Right. So that's probably worth a look. All right. There's a plug. We're full of plugs today. All right. Putting my money where my mouth is, and this will lead to a call to action later in this video, I reckon. So me and young lady went to this sheep stud sale on Thursday. Or stud sale. We went there to buy a stud ram, right? So happened to, you rock up, you register, and the eldest girls recognise me because this is the second year I'm doing the rounds with all the DBM shirts and stuff. So on the, you know, they start to recognise the logos and stuff like that. They go, hey, going here again? You're going to be at the one on Monday? Yeah, I'll be at the one on Monday. Right, we'll get you registered there as well. I said, sweet. But happened to catch up with the Farm Weekly girl that's there to take the photos, and she goes, hey, I recognise you. I've met you somewhere before. I said, that's highly likely. Because I did this, and that, you know, the last couple of years. She goes, yeah. I've gone, great. I said, you know, and she took a beautiful photo of me and uni student overlooking the sheep as part of the thing, maybe just as a side story. I said, you know, about farmer friend and Walrack and uni, you know, that might be a good news piece to chuck in the Farm Weekly. Yeah. Maybe Walrack will pay for that one instead of me. But I also said to the lady, I said, watch this space. You'll get another photo of us today because we're coming in to buy a stud ram, and I'm putting my big boy pants on, and if we have to pay the most money, that's what it'll be. So as it happens, and going through the process with the student, so I had one picked out on stats, went and had a look at it, and went, yeah, you know, don't know. So then she goes, all right, well, if you don't want one, what about your top three? Yeah, you talked about when I go pick the merinos, I go look through 10 sheep to pick 3 to take home. So goes, all right, so if you're talking like that, what if you're not 100% on this one? What about we go look, see if you can find 3 more, get a top 3, and we'll look through the whole catalogue and go like that. So then we went through the process of going to find, so you got sires, and I wanted a specific sire. So we went and hunted down these other rams from this sire to have a look. Then we did the process. I don't like that one because his front leg's a bit funny, or the cut line on his wool's not in the right spot on his head, and all that sort of stuff. Well, no, that figure's not right. That's not what I want to breed. And then all that sort of circle work, we end up back at that same ram come auction time. Started there. And then, you know, different auction tactics. I'm sort of guy, for that sort of thing, I can get a bit arrogant. I'll stand at the back and just hold my card up until I win it. Type thing. So that was a pretty hot one. I don't think people at the sale were quite ready for that, because this was about pen 62, 63. So it's not the first sheep. You sort of settled into the auction system by then. And the ram before it sort of sold for about the normal price, and then this one comes along, and I go, I started a bit higher, and then the other guy's hot on it, but I'm hot on it, so it's like, can I get 2.5? Yeah, right, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, 2.9, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, just bang, 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 bang. Why it went till he stopped, because I was going to keep going. I think he worked out that I wasn't going to stop.
Yeah.
But you know, and all that, and then it was done. That was us. That was knocked that down. That's our day over. We only went there for one. It happened to be the one we first looked at, but we did the process and the conversation around, do we look at other ones? What are the pros and cons to this sheep, that sheep? Because that's the stud perspective. So, you know, that was a really interesting, but, you know, saying to the Farm Weekly girl before the sale that we were going to be not only the highest ram for the day, but the highest bidder for that breed, to make that call and then back it up with this, I'm spending that money. You know, I'm prepared to spend that money to get what I want, to do what I want to do with the stuff. So, you know, man your word, put your money where your mouth is type scenario. And I thought it was a go, mate.
No, it's just, and yeah, sure, putting your money where your mouth is, but, you know, again, it's going to be, you know, I won't ask how much it was worth in the end, but the thing is, the long-term benefits of having, you know, it's an investment, mate. And sometimes you've got to put the money in to get the long-term benefits from that. And depending on the age of your ram, you know, it's going to be, well, I'm assuming, I don't know much again about sheep, but I mean, you're going to have at least 10 years or more.
Oh, we'll get 5 out of it, mate. So sheep go for about 5 years.
Yeah, righto.
So this is a 1.5-year-old thereabouts,
Yeah.
and we'll get 5 to 6 matings out of it.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's still pretty good though, and depending how many views you got, it's gonna be good, buddy. Yeah, and um, again,
Yeah,
benefits.
look, it's all genetic. It's not so much about the individual animal. It is about the genetic potential. So as a sheep stud, you're buying on genetic potential, which is similar but different to the commercial aspect. Not on so much what we're selling, and I posted all over my Facebook about the sale we had on Friday. But
yeah,
then on Monday, then it's a different mindset on buying. So buying merino, so I'm buying wool on the
yeah,
wool potential, but also the genetic potential of the animal. But I'm more flexible because it's a commercial scenario, not a stud scenario. So you can be less specific. You can buy a variance rather than being X amount specific. So yeah, it's different budget involved.
yeah. Understood. Yeah, okay. That's really interesting. Just on the subject, so okay, um, buying these magic stud rams and things. Just to spread the topic a bit further. Have you ever considered AI? Is that possible with sheep?
Yeah, so I've done embryo transfer programs out here,
Yep.
which is so AI is implant semen in an individual
Artificial
ewe.
insemination.
Yep. So
yeah.
yep, and embryo transfer is where you flush the eggs out of the ewe and you get the semen from the ram and you make it up in a petri dish and then you implant those embryos in a surrogate mum. It's a far more expensive scenario, but as far as what worked, I did that for the Cheviots twice because that was the easiest way for me to breed in new genetics to, So lots of guys. So stud that we bought off, he does an AI program as well to bring in. So he buys rams from over east and stuff like that. So you get semen shares and stuff like that. So that's entirely possible with sheep, but not in a commercial sense. You wouldn't do that in a commercial sense. Like that's a stud breeder's game.
Yeah, and that's a different kettle of fish, and that's where it's just interesting. And the reason I asked like that I have heard of the embryo transplant set up. AI always fascinates me because the same thing. If you're a bit short on, if you just want to get shit happening, it sounds like a really good way to go. But the control for it is pretty epic. Like you got to make sure. So our stocky, and I talked about it years ago for our cattle, but you got to be very careful with the control, don't you? Because once you inseminate your heifers, you got to keep them locked up, separate up to everything else, or whatever. We don't have to, but you got to have them somewhere where you can bring them back in to be checked up in about 6 weeks from memory.
Yeah, because they can spit the sponges out and stuff like that. Because it's essentially artificial insemination is they soak a sponge in ram spoof and then they just jam it in there.
Yes.
So,
sorry.
And you're right. It tends to be about, it can be about 80% effective. So.
Oh, really?
So that doesn't sound like a bad figure, but if I'm spending $10,000 on an AI program and I'm only going to get my $8,000 back, if I've got 100 ewes, I want 100 ewes pregnant.
Absolutely.
Because naturally, I can nearly get 100 ewes pregnant.
See, I thought it was guaranteed to be 100% success rate.
Well, you can't guarantee that the ewe's not going to squeeze the sponge out. So that's the variance. Between 80 to 100%. So it can be 100%. But there's the risk. It's with every scenario. That's why I chose embryo transfers, because you take a bit of risk out, is because they mix it in a petri dish and they only implant viable embryos.
Yeah.
So that
There's
I might get less sheep, but that's 100%.
That's really interesting. No, and that's one thing I do remember. Yeah, so I don't know if he's on here. I can't remember if I added him on here or not. Craig Walker. He he said to me, one of the beauties again with the beef world. At that stage, there was a warranty or like there was insurance.
Mm.
So if you didn't get your thing, you did get it. Well, that was
Get your
then.
money back. Yeah.
So, but anyway, for the most part, it's just super interesting. And then I find all genetics. I'm not really up on it, but it does interest me how you can go around it all.
Yeah, yeah. And I talk a lot in scale of economy. So example, sheep's worth $100, maybe not at the moment, but a cow's worth $1,000. So for your $50 investment, or when I last did embryo transfer, it was $300 per pregnancy was my cost. So my return on investment, I've got to have 2 lambs, and one of them's got to be a ram, so I can sell it for $600 to cover costs.
Yeah.
So when you do cattle, I'm not sure of the cost of the implants. Let's say you're spending $100 on a cow for artificial insemination, and that's still $1,000 animal. So if you've got 100 cows, you get 80 calves. Let's say 40 bulls. So then those 40 bulls are worth X amount of dollars. We're talking $200, but you're going to go sell them for $5,000 because they're a stud bull or something. So the return on investment,
of course,
versus your economy size is different. It's also like buying tractors for the size of your farm. So us being X amount of big and the neighbour being a little bit bigger, his scale of economy is different. $200,000 for a tractor is still $200,000 a tractor. It's whether your economy is $2 million or whether you're $5 million as far as where it fits into your percentages.
Whether it makes it, if it's going to make or break the bank.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Is it viable for your situation? I mean, if you're a $2 million property, you're not going to buy a $500,000 tractor.
Well, you'll only have it for 1 year.
Yeah.
You can buy it, but you'll only have it for 1 year because your clearance sale will be the next year.
Yeah.
And everyone's coming to buy your crap out of that first 10 lots. So someone's going to win.
Someone's going to win, and this is I'm fascinated, and have been, we've been down here for, had the property for 15 years now, I think. Inherited it from my grandfather, and I marvel because I'm a rubbernecker. I can't help but drive by everyone's places in Sticky Beak because everyone's place is right on the side of the road.
We all do it.
Sorry, everyone. Neighbourhood watch here, curtain twitcher as I go past my patrol. But I'm fascinated at how people, obviously, like these guys in the area here are quite successful. I assume they are because they're still here. The investment they put in their machines, and like a good year, right? Well, someone will buy a new header or a new spray rig or whatever. And I often wonder at the breakdown of what where these conversations come from. And there was one bloke we had a quick go at putting crop in 5-6 years ago, and the bloke went around starting out contract harvesting. He only had an older machine. I don't know where he's at the moment. I haven't seen him for a while. Again, just weighing up. It must be interesting for you guys in your world, and I don't mean your world, but in in cropping world, the conversations you must have to decide where you are at to what do we need?
Yeah, because it's really in our budget. So what we look at in one of the costs down the bottom is if you were to contract every operation in your farm, what would it cost you? Okay, for you to work for yourself, you've got to value yourself at a certain price. So is your boom spray going across, right around here is about $8-10 or something like that. So is your boom spray going across your paddock worth $10, which is the same as what you're going to pay a contractor? So then you go, do I take that $10 and do I put it in a machine, or is it? Do I own that machine? Do I put it in a staff member? So that's how you can throw it in the budget that way. And then that comes to the how many hectares you got. So if you've only put in 1,000 hectares, paying a guy 50 grand a year to drive your boom spraying tractors, you've got to find him a lot of hours to justify his wage, or you have to drive it yourself. So having one of those fun years. Big bonus for here. Just had a guy start last week. So we've got a new guy to come and do some full-time work.
Oh, cool.
So,
that's exciting.
We're going to, once we get through a few more jobs next week, we're back in full flight. We'll be all caught up by harvest and we're back in top gear. So.
Oh, congratulations. That's awesome news. And will you accommodate him on site, or is he from town, or? He
actually lives in town. So that was a longer term conversation. It just happened to be that's where he's at life now. So he turned up last week to help out because he had a few days off, and he goes, what if I come out here full time? I said, I think that's a great idea. So made him an offer. He's accepted, and all that sort of. So that then creates a good plan because I can train him up. He can do some jobs. If we can both do the same jobs, then it doesn't. Bloody dodgy messages coming through. So if I train him up to do the spray rig, I don't have to be in the spray rig all the time, and I can do other things like, or I can go cart the water because he doesn't have a truck. He doesn't have a big truck license, so I can go cart the water because otherwise I'm depending on Dad, who's going on 6-day golf tour next week. So good. Yeah, really tough at the top, mate. 18 holes of nullarbor links for a couple of weeks, and now he's going on 6-day golf tour. So really tough.
Play golf, and I generally don't have any interest because I can't play. I shouldn't say can't. But one day I'd love to go along one of these tours and just at least be the beer boy or something. Because that nullarbor run sounds like a hell of a good gig.
I reckon we could plan. Here's a thought process, Muzz.
Yep.
We could plan the farm fence tour and do the nullarbor links.
Talk about getting a bit bloody underwater.
Let's book it in. Let's book it in for 2025. 2025. We'll get a time of the year that suits both of us. And whoever else wants to come along, open invite to anyone who's a member of the farm fence.
Absolutely.
So we can play the 18 holes of the nullarbor links.
Because, I mean, at this stage, depending on how my future pans out and all the rest, and assuming you're still at home, what's the quietest time of year for you? Probably not this time of year, and not really.
We'd have to do it in a month. I don't know which month.
Yeah, because first one just wondering, like, somewhere between spraying and harvest. And for me, I personally like cooler weather.
Yeah. Look, might have to if I train enough staff up that I have to go spraying, we can do it in July.
Now that'd be ideal.
Nice. Oh well, we'll have to celebrate that on one of the holes. or maybe here's an idea, because my birthday is 27th of June. So we'll start on my birthday, and we'll have to have it, and we'll plan the trip. So we'll start on my birthday from here, and then we'll take off for the first hole, and we'll get around and we'll celebrate your birthday on the trip too.
I like that. That's bloody. That's good, buddy. Yeah.
Right, locking that in.
Locking it in.
Look, I'm writing it down, so it's done.
That's funny.
2025.
Dedication.
Nullarbor links. Yeah, that'll go up on the vision board.
Beautiful. Next to your fancy buddy race car there.
Yep. Oh, there's going to be an update soon. Got this awesome photo. So scroll across Facebook as we do.
Yep.
So it's I want to say bus, but that's not correct. It's a motorhome.
Yes.
That the Bugatti slides out from underneath.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you just pull up somewhere, and then when you go showing off to the chicks, you can better pull out the Bugatti.
Yeah, so whip out to drive across the bottom here, and we'll go to a chuka or something over the other side, and I'll pull up out the front of the pub and just whip the Bugatti out. Pull up. Imagine pulling up in the Geraldton Caravan Park in the motorhome, and then just out pops the Bugatti, just drive out down to the local hole, and I was like, mate, you're gonna get robbed.
Oh, absolutely. Or people wouldn't know what to bloody do. I reckon. Just sort of, what is this?
Yeah,
This doesn't belong.
Yeah, that's right. I wonder what cut. I'll do it that color, like a blue and green camo type thing. So I'll be sneaky.
You'll be sneaky.
Very sneaky.
It's certainly good colours for around here to be sneaky. Well, Stuart, I'll probably need to get going. As much as I'm enjoying having a bloody can and waffling away, go and have some lunch would be a good start. And
Yeah, I should do the same. Yeah.
But yeah,
Lunch in a can, mate.
Absolutely, buddy. Good health.
Steak and eggs in each can, isn't that the rule?
At least. No, too easy. Well, no, thanks today, and thanks to everyone who has been on with us. It's been cool.
Yeah, it's a good chat. And now that footy season's slowed down, we'll do more of these. Definitely watch out for the one from the whatever Darwin pub I'll be at for the Sunday session with the footy boys. That could be wild. No idea how that's going to go.
Lance Coppin, if you're on there, or who else have we got? Tim Marnie. You blokes know about Darwin. Recommend a pub if you get on here and see us.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to think who else is on here. Dan Hansen. Come on, guys. Anyone who's been up to Darwin, give Stewie some recommendations for the footy club.
Or just turn up.
Oh,
come.
The blokes I'm thinking of aren't there anymore, but
fuck it. Road trip. 2 weeks time, AFL Grand Final. Turn up in Darwin. Come find me. It's not as if you can't notice this head. We'll all hang out. We'll have a farm fence chat in a Darwin pub on Grand Final day.
Seeming at the bloody some of the footy crew to bloody join you too, but they're probably a bit shy on this, I suppose.
No, there's heaps of them in here.
Oh, that's good.
I'll get a few. I'll make a call out to Wanos. Sam Wanty, you're on, mate. I'm going to call you out to join in.
You're dobbed in, Sam.
Yeah, that's right. Wise.
Righto, mate.
All right, we shall call it. I'll sign off today. So thanks to all the farmers that grow all our food and provide us with the wonderful things. Thanks to all the truckies that transport it around this beautiful country of ours. And special thanks to all the veterans that have served and protected our country for many years and future. Peace out and have a good one, kids. And that's us for the day.
Cheers, guys. Good health.
DBM studs in the comments.
Check them out.
Check them out.